When life throws challenges your way, especially the pain caused by someone else's actions, it can feel like everything around you has come to a halt. Betrayal, disappointment, or heartbreak has a way of consuming your thoughts and pulling you into a cycle of self-doubt and questioning. It's easy to get stuck replaying the moments, wondering what you could have done differently or why things turned out the way they did. But staying in that place only holds you back. The only way forward is to shift your focus not on what you've lost, but on how you can grow from the experience. Focusing on your growth means taking control of your narrative. It's about deciding that no matter what has happened, you will not let it define your life. Growth doesn't mean forgetting the pain or pretending it didn't happen. Instead, it means choosing to learn from it, to let it shape you into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Every setback has the potential to teach you something valuable, even if it doesn't feel that way in the moment. Growth is not about dismissing your emotions, but about using them as fuel to propel yourself forward. When you focus on your growth, you begin to reclaim your energy. Painful experiences can drain you, leaving you feeling stuck and powerless. By shifting your attention to what you can control, your actions, your mindset, and your goals, you start to regain that sense of power. The energy you once spent dwelling on the hurt can now be directed toward building something meaningful. Whether it's pursuing a new passion, improving a skill, or simply taking better care of yourself, every small step forward is a reminder that you are not defined by the past. Personal growth also requires looking inward. Often, painful experiences force us to confront parts of ourselves that we might have overlooked. It's not about blaming yourself for what happened, but about understanding what you can learn from it. Did it reveal areas where you need to set stronger boundaries? Did it highlight patterns you want to break or values you want to prioritize? Growth is about taking those insights and using them to shape the person you want to become. Investing in yourself is one of the most powerful ways to focus on your growth. This might mean prioritizing your physical health through exercise and proper nutrition, or nurturing your mental well-being through therapy, mindfulness, or journaling. It could also mean rediscovering passions you've set aside, learning something new, or surrounding yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Growth is a holistic process, and every positive action you take contributes to your journey. Part of focusing on your growth is letting go of the need for validation from others. It's easy to fall into the trap of wanting to prove yourself, especially to those who may have hurt you or doubted you. But true growth isn't about showing others what you're capable of. It's about proving it to yourself. It's about knowing that your worth isn't tied to anyone else's opinions or actions. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself for your own sake, you'll find a sense of fulfillment that external validation could never provide. Growth also means learning to embrace change. Pain often comes from a sense of loss, whether it's the loss of a relationship, trust, or a certain vision for your future. While it's natural to grieve what was, holding on too tightly can prevent you from seeing what could be. Growth requires being open to new possibilities, even if they don't look like what you originally envisioned. It's about trusting that even though the path ahead might be uncertain, it holds the potential for something better. Sometimes, focusing on your growth involves taking risks. Growth often requires stepping out of your comfort zone and facing the fears or doubts that have held you back. It might mean trying something new, confronting a challenge you've been avoiding, or allowing yourself to be vulnerable again after being hurt. Each step you take, no matter how small, is a victory that moves you closer to becoming the person you want to be. Painful experiences can leave you feeling isolated, but growth reminds you that you're not alone. There are others who have faced similar challenges and emerged stronger. Drawing inspiration from their stories or seeking support from those who understand can be a powerful motivator. Growth is not about comparing your journey to someone else's, but about finding strength in the knowledge that healing and transformation are possible. Ultimately, focusing on your growth is an act of self-love. It's a way of saying, I am worth the effort it takes to heal and improve. It's about choosing to see challenges not as endings, but as beginnings. Growth doesn't happen all at once. It's a gradual process filled with ups and downs. But every step you take is a reminder that you are capable of more than you might have imagined. Each moment spent focusing on your growth is a moment spent building a future that is brighter, stronger, and more aligned with who you truly are. There are moments in life when everything seems to crumble around you. Betrayal, disappointment, and hardship can leave you feeling vulnerable and weak. It's easy to believe that you don't have the strength to face what's in front of you, especially when the challenges seem insurmountable. But deep within you, there is a strength, that is often overlooked, a power that has carried you through everything that life has thrown at you so far. Recognizing this inner strength is the first step toward overcoming the obstacles in your path and finding the resilience you need to move forward. Your inner strength is not something that comes from external sources, it's something that resides within you. It's the courage to keep going when it seems easier to give up. It's the determination to push through the pain and discomfort, knowing that on the other side lies growth and transformation. Recognizing this strength requires you to look within yourself, to see the ways you've already overcome challenges, and to trust that you have the power to handle whatever comes next. Often the difficulty in recognizing your inner strength lies in the distractions of the moment. When you're caught up in the storm of emotions, anger, hurt, confusion, it can feel impossible to see beyond your immediate feelings. It's easy to forget that you have faced hardships before and made it through to the other side. You may have been through moments of loss, disappointment, and pain, yet you are still standing. That resilience is your inner strength. It's important to recognize that inner strength doesn't mean never feeling weak or vulnerable. It doesn't mean that you should have it all together or that you should never experience pain. In fact, true inner strength often comes from allowing yourself to feel, to grieve, and to be human. It's about acknowledging the tough moments and knowing that you can endure them, not because you're invincible, but because you have the tools within you to survive them. Recognizing your inner strength means embracing your vulnerability as part of your power. Your inner strength is also tied to your ability to make choices. Even in the face of adversity, you have the ability to decide how you respond to the situation. That power of choice is one of the most potent aspects of your inner strength. No matter how difficult the circumstances, you can choose how to approach them. You can choose to rise above the hurt, to grow from the pain, and to continue moving forward. This doesn't mean denying your emotions or suppressing your feelings. Instead, it means taking responsibility for how you respond to those emotions, using them as fuel to propel you toward the future you want. Recognizing your inner strength also requires letting go of self-doubt. It's easy to question yourself when you're faced with challenges, to wonder if you're capable or if you have what it takes to get through. But the truth is, you've already demonstrated your strength countless times before. You've faced setbacks, dealt with heartache, and pushed through moments of uncertainty. Yet here you are, still standing. Your strength is not about being perfect or invulnerable. It's about your capacity to keep going even when the road is hard. Trust in that capacity and believe in your ability to overcome what lies ahead. Another key aspect of recognizing your inner strength is the willingness to seek support when needed. Strength is not always about going it alone. It's about knowing when to ask for help and allowing others to support you. Your inner strength includes the wisdom to recognize that you don't have to carry everything by yourself. Seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. It takes courage to open up, to be vulnerable, and to trust others with your pain. Recognizing that your strength comes not only from within, but also from the people around you is an important part of your journey. As you begin to recognize your inner strength, it's important to give yourself credit for how far you've come. Often we are so focused on the future or the challenges ahead that we forget to acknowledge the progress we've already made. Take a moment to reflect on the times in your life when you thought you couldn't go on, but somehow you did. Recognizing those moments helps you see that your strength isn't something that suddenly appears in times of crisis. It's something that's been with you all along, even when you didn't realize it. Your inner strength is also tied to your values. When you know what truly matters to you, you tap into a deeper well of strength. Your values guide you through difficult times, reminding you of who you are and what you stand for. They serve as a compass when you're lost and help you stay grounded when everything around you feels uncertain. By aligning your actions with your values, you reinforce your inner strength and make decisions that are in line with your true self. Recognizing your inner strength doesn't mean you won't face more challenges. Life will continue to throw obstacles your way, and there will be times when you feel uncertain or defeated. But in those moments, remember that you have already overcome so much. Your strength is built on the foundation of every challenge you faced and conquered. It's a constant source of power, waiting for you to tap into it whenever you need it. Recognizing your inner strength is not just about surviving, it's about thriving, knowing that no matter what comes your way, you have everything you need to face it and rise above it. When someone hurts you deeply, The initial reaction is often a surge of anger and a burning desire to retaliate. That pain, that betrayal can feel like a fire inside you, pushing you to act out, to make the other person feel what you're feeling. It's a natural response, born from the sense of injustice and the raw emotion of being wronged. But while retaliation might seem satisfying in the moment, it ultimately does more harm than good. Choosing to avoid retaliation is not a sign of weakness, it's a display of strength, control, and wisdom. When you retaliate, you tether yourself to the very person who caused your pain. Their actions already hurt you once, why give them the power to influence your actions again? By seeking revenge, you let them occupy space in your mind and dictate your behavior. You allow their betrayal to linger in your life far longer than it deserves. Retaliation may feel like reclaiming power, but in reality, it keeps you chained to the negativity they brought into your life. The satisfaction that comes from revenge is fleeting. In the heat of the moment, it might feel like striking back will balance the scales, but it rarely brings the closure you seek. Instead, it often leaves you feeling emptier, as though the act of revenge only deepened the wound rather than healing it. True healing doesn't come from causing someone else pain, it comes from releasing the hold their actions have over you. Retaliation keeps you focused on the past, while peace and growth lie in looking forward. Avoiding retaliation doesn't mean ignoring the hurt or pretending it didn't happen. It means choosing to rise above it, to act in a way that aligns with your values rather than letting someone else's behavior dictate yours. It's about deciding that their betrayal will not define who you are or how you respond. Holding on to anger and plotting revenge only prolongs the pain they've caused. Letting go of that desire for revenge is a way of reclaiming your freedom and focusing on your own well-being. It's easy to believe that not retaliating makes you look weak, but the opposite is true. Strength isn't about lashing out, it's about maintaining control over your actions, even when emotions run high. It takes far more courage to walk away from conflict than to engage in it. By refusing to retaliate, you demonstrate that your character is stronger than the circumstances. You show that you are capable of handling pain without letting it consume you or dictate your behavior. Choosing not to retaliate doesn't mean the other person gets away with it. Life has a way of holding people accountable for their actions, even if it's not immediately visible. Karma, consequences, or simply the realization of their own mistakes often catch up to those who harm others. Your energy is better spent focusing on your own growth and happiness rather than trying to orchestrate their downfall. Trust that their actions will come back to them in one way or another. It's not your responsibility to make that happen. By avoiding retaliation, you open the door to forgiveness, not for them, but for yourself. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning what they did or inviting them back into your life. It means freeing yourself from the bitterness and anger that can weigh you down. Holding on to those negative emotions only prolongs the harm they've already done. Letting go allows you to heal and move forward without their actions defining your emotional state. Refusing to retaliate also sets an example for those around you. It shows that there is strength and restraint and dignity in choosing peace over conflict. When you act with integrity, you inspire others to do the same. You create an environment where kindness, respect, and self-control are valued more than revenge. Life is too short to waste on bitterness and revenge. The energy you could spend plotting retaliation can be better used to build something meaningful. Focus on yourself, your goals, and the people who genuinely care about you. Let their love and support remind you that the actions of one person do not dictate your worth or your future. The best revenge, if it can even be called that, is living well, finding happiness, and refusing to let someone else's actions drag you down. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. When someone wrongs you, you have a choice. You can let their actions consume you, or you can rise above them. Retaliation might seem like an easy path, but it's a path that leads nowhere. By avoiding it, you choose a path of growth, strength, and peace. You take control of your own life and refuse to let their negativity define your journey. That is the true victory, not over them, but over the pain they tried to leave behind. When someone betrays you, it leaves a wound that runs deep. The pain of broken trust, the shock of betrayal, and the anger that follows can feel impossible to let go of. In the aftermath, it's easy to hold on to those emotions, carrying them like a heavy weight. Anger and resentment may even feel like armor, as if holding on to them is the only way to protect yourself from being hurt again. But the truth is, clinging to those emotions doesn't protect you, it imprisons you. Forgiveness is the key to freeing yourself from that prison, not for their sake, but for your own. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. It's not about condoning the behavior of the person who hurt you or pretending the pain didn't happen. It's not about reconciling with them or giving them the chance to repeat their actions. Forgiveness is about you. It's about choosing to let go of the anger and bitterness that weigh you down. Holding on to resentment is like carrying a heavy bag everywhere you go. It slows you down, drains your energy, and keeps you stuck in the past. Forgiveness is the decision to put that bag down and move forward without it. When someone wrongs you, the natural reaction is to focus on them, their betrayal, their actions, and their faults. But this focus only prolongs their presence in your life. By dwelling on what they did, you allow their actions to continue affecting you long after the event has passed. Forgiveness shifts the focus back to you and your healing. It's a way of reclaiming your power and deciding that their choices will no longer dictate your emotions or your future. Forgiveness doesn't erase what happened. The memories may still be there, and the scars may remain. But those scars are not signs of weakness, they are evidence of your strength and resilience. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, it means choosing not to let the past control your present. When you forgive, you're not saying it's okay, you're saying, I refuse to let this define me. It's an act of self-respect, a way of prioritizing your peace over your pain. Anger and resentment are exhausting. They take up space in your heart and mind that could be used for so much more joy, love, growth, and peace. Forgiveness is not about sparing the person who hurt you from consequences. It's about sparing yourself from the ongoing pain of carrying that anger. It's about recognizing that holding on to resentment doesn't punish them, it only hurts you. Forgiveness is not a single moment or decision, it's a process. Some days you may feel like you've let go, only for the anger or pain to resurface later. That's okay. Healing isn't linear, and forgiveness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, patience, and effort. It requires you to confront your feelings honestly and allow yourself to grieve what was lost. Each time you choose to let go of the anger again, you're making progress. It's also important to acknowledge that forgiveness doesn't always require an apology from the other person. Many times, the apology you hope for may never come. Waiting for someone else to take responsibility for their actions can leave you stuck, prolonging your pain. Forgiveness is something you do for yourself, regardless of whether the other person acknowledges their wrongdoing. It's about freeing yourself, not about waiting for them to make things right. Letting go of resentment doesn't mean letting go of boundaries. Forgiveness doesn't mean allowing that person back into your life or giving them the opportunity to hurt you again. In fact, setting boundaries is a crucial part of the process. Forgiving someone doesn't mean you trust them, it means you've chosen to release the hold their actions have over you. You can forgive and still protect yourself. Forgiveness and self-respect go hand in hand. When you choose to forgive, you open yourself up to a lighter, freer way of living. Resentment weighs down your spirit and clouds your perspective. Letting go of that burden creates space for more positive emotions and experiences to enter your life. It allows you to move forward with clarity and purpose, unburdened by the negativity of the past. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself, a way of saying, I deserve peace. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about taking care of your own heart and mind. It's about deciding that you will not let someone else's actions keep you trapped in pain. You have the power to choose freedom over bitterness, peace over anger, and healing over hurt. It's not an easy choice, and it may not come quickly, but it's a choice worth making. When you forgive, you're not letting them off the hook, you're letting yourself off the hook. You're choosing to live life on your terms, free from the chains of resentment. Life has a way of throwing challenges at us when we least expect it. Among those challenges, betrayal stands as one of the hardest to endure. When someone cheats your heart, it's more than just an action, it feels like a wound to your very soul. The natural response is to ask why. Why did they do this? Why me? The truth is, those questions rarely bring peace because the answers lie in their choices, not your worth. Their actions are a reflection of their own character, not a measure of your value as a person. When someone hurts you in this way, it's easy to get lost in anger, pain, and confusion. The betrayal can feel overwhelming, pulling you into a storm of emotions that threaten to consume you. But no matter how heavy the weight of those emotions feels, there is one thing you can do to reclaim your power: choose yourself. Choosing yourself means stepping back from the chaos and remembering who you are at your core. It's about recognizing that your worth does not hinge on how others treat you. You are more than someone else's mistake, more than their inability to value you. Choosing yourself means deciding that your peace of mind, your happiness, and your future are too precious to be defined by someone else's actions. When you choose yourself, you take the first step toward healing. That healing begins with letting go of the need for revenge or retaliation. It's tempting to let anger fuel your decisions, to lash out, or to prove a point. But think for a moment about what that achieves. Does it truly mend the broken pieces within you? Retaliation may bring a fleeting sense of satisfaction, but it ultimately keeps you chained to the very pain you're trying to escape. True strength lies not in fighting fire with fire, but in rising above the flames entirely. Choosing yourself also means practicing forgiveness. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as condoning someone's behavior or letting them off the hook. But in reality, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's about releasing the anger, bitterness, and resentment that weigh you down. Carrying those feelings only prolongs the hurt. When you forgive, you're not saying what they did was acceptable. You're simply saying you refuse to let their actions control your life any longer. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the emotional chains of the past. Healing from betrayal also requires shifting your focus inward. Instead of fixating on the person who hurt you, turn your attention to your own growth. This is your opportunity to pour love back into yourself. Reconnect with the things that bring you joy, whether it's pursuing a passion, spending time with people who uplift you, or simply taking care of your mental and physical well-being. By choosing to invest in yourself, you're building a life that isn't defined by the actions of others. It's essential to surround yourself with people who value and respect you. One person's betrayal doesn't mean everyone is untrustworthy. Don't let the actions of one individual make you close yourself off of the love and kindness that others are willing to give. Seek out relationships that nurture your spirit and remind you of your worth. These connections can be a source of strength as you move forward. The pain of betrayal can sometimes make you question your own strength. It's natural to feel vulnerable and broken in the aftermath. But even in those moments, remember this: you are stronger than you think. The fact that you can feel pain is a testament to your capacity to care deeply. The fact that you can rise from that pain is proof of your resilience. You are not defined by what happened to you, but by how you choose to respond to it. Choosing yourself means refusing to let betrayal dim your light. It means recognizing that your life is still a beautiful masterpiece, even if someone tried to tarnish it. Their actions may have created a scar, but scars are not marks of weakness, they're reminders of your strength and survival. Every time you choose to move forward, to love yourself, and to embrace life, you're proving that their actions don't have the power to define your story. So, if someone cheats your heart, let it be a moment of clarity. Let it remind you that you deserve honesty, respect, and love that is genuine. Take the pain they caused and transform it into a driving force for your growth. Use it as fuel to create a life that reflects your worth and resilience. Because at the end of the day, your happiness and peace are yours to protect. Choosing yourself is not just an act of self-care. It's a declaration that you refuse to let anyone else dictate the course of your life. When someone cheats your heart, the pain can feel all-consuming. Betrayal has a way of reaching deep into your soul, shaking the foundation of your trust, and leaving you questioning everything. It's natural to feel anger, confusion, and sadness in the face of such hurt. The instinct is often to focus on the person who caused the pain, replaying the moments, dissecting their actions, and wondering why they did it. But if you stay in that space, you allow their actions to control your life. The only way forward is to rise above the hurt. Rising above the hurt doesn't mean pretending it didn't happen or ignoring the pain. It means choosing to face it head-on without letting it consume you. The actions of someone else, no matter how hurtful, don't define who you are. They define the kind of person they are. It's a reflection of their choices, not your worth. Understanding this is crucial because when you let their betrayal dictate your sense of self, you hand over your power. Taking back that power begins with deciding that you won't let this moment destroy you. You don't have to carry the burden of their actions on your shoulders. It's easy to feel responsible for the way someone treated you, but the truth is, their betrayal says more about them than it does about you. You cannot control the choices of others, but you can control how you respond. Rising above the hurt means refusing to let someone's dishonesty, disrespect, or lack of loyalty shape your future. The urge for retaliation might be strong. After all, when someone wounds you, there's a part of you that wants to make them feel the same pain. But think about what retaliation really achieves. It keeps you locked in a cycle of negativity, focused on the person who caused the harm. Retaliation doesn't heal, it only deepens the wound. Real strength lies in choosing a path that leads to peace, not one that keeps you entangled in anger. Forgiveness is a powerful step in rising above the hurt. It's important to understand that forgiveness is not about letting the other person off the hook or excusing their actions. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of resentment and bitterness. Carrying anger and hate only prolongs the pain, holding you hostage to the very thing you want to escape. When you forgive, you're not saying what you did was okay, you're saying, I refuse to let what you did control me any longer. Forgiveness is a release, a way to reclaim your peace and move forward without the chains of the past. Rising above the hurt also means focusing on your own growth. When someone betrays you, it can feel like a piece of your world has fallen apart. But this can also be an opportunity to rebuild stronger than before. Pour your energy into the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. Reconnect with the parts of yourself that may have been neglected. Pursue goals, explore passions, and surround yourself with people who value and uplift you. Painful experiences have a way of revealing what truly matters. They show you the importance of self-care, self-respect, and self-love. Rising above the hurt means prioritizing your well-being, even when it feels difficult. Take care of your mental, emotional, and physical health. Allow yourself to grieve, but don't let grief define you. Use this time to rediscover your strength and resilience. Betrayal can make you question everything, including your own ability to trust others. While it's natural to feel guarded, don't let the actions of one person close you off from the possibility of love and connection. Not everyone will treat you the way that person did. There are people in this world who will honor your heart, respect your boundaries, and cherish your presence. Surround yourself with those people, and let their kindness remind you of the goodness that still exists. Even when the hurt feels unbearable, remember that you are stronger than the pain. You have the capacity to heal, to rebuild, and to rise. Betrayal may leave scars, but those scars are a testament to your ability to endure and grow. They remind you of your strength, not your weakness. Rising above the hurt means making a choice to move forward, even when it feels hard. It means refusing to let someone else's actions define your happiness or your future. You deserve a life filled with joy, love, and peace, and those things are still within your reach. No betrayal can take that away from you unless you let it.